let's rewind a couple of months. It's Mother's Day. And to explain to you why today is interesting for me, we need to go back a couple of months. I think it's all the way back in January. In fact, I want to say it was Kari's birthday, where most times people who care about you go on your wall and tell you happy birthday and things like that. Kari himself posted a thing on Facebook, and it was just something about family, and it was like, yeah, let's, according to everybody else, we're a normal, ordinary family, ha ha ha, and it's like, because we're just not, we're crazy people. So I commented on it, of course, and Asia stepped in and said something, and I'm sure it got a couple of likes from a couple of people that Kari knew, and maybe a couple of people that I knew, because he tagged us in them. But what was funny was that his biological mother chimed in. She said something like, yeah, I've got that same thing on my refrigerator, haha, and she was trying to include herself. And Asia was pissed. Like, Asia doesn't get pissed about a lot of things, but this pissed Asia off hard. And she went on there and she's just like, hey, why don't you go away? Nobody wants you here. Stop trying to include yourself in our family. Like, where were you? Like, now I'm just paraphrasing because, she didn't say all of this. But how dare you try to come in and try to pawn yourself off as family? Like, where were you when we were struggling? Where were you when, he was born? Where were you from age 5 to age 11? Where were you after you lied to him and say, yeah, I want to be in your life again, and let's get to know each other, and then you tried to kidnap him? Like, fuck you, lady. Like, no one's interested. We're just not interested in extending that family olive branch to you, because you don't belong here. I can't tell you when it was, but I'm sure it was even before that post went up. Kari, while probably under the influence of some things, and I don't think that really necessarily influenced the way he felt, but it probably influenced that he said anything. He has said many times that Asia is his mother, that he loves Asia like a mother, that he was never interested in having a mother because, this is what happens when you get a mom. They just kind of disappear. But not this one. Asia had stuck around and he loved her for it. And it was one of those, it's like, it got me. Like, I love that. I spent a lot of time trying to force Asia into Kari's life, which did not work out, as you can imagine. That's just not the kind of thing you can force. But when I took a step back and let things just flow on their own, the two of them bonded and were family. Like, you couldn't tell nobody nothing. It's like when he talking to his friends, he refers to me and Asia as his parents. He don't necessarily call her mom, but, on the same hand, he don't necessarily call me dad. Very rarely does he refer to me as dad. And that's fine. And when he does, it's just like, oh, I'm a very emotional creature. But, okay, we're getting a little off subject. So, today, for Mother's Day, Kari posted a very nice thing to Asia. It was like, to the only mother I've ever known, happy Mother's Day kind of thing. And I just thought it was really nice. It warmed my heart that, I didn't prompt him to do that. I didn't, go to him and say, hey, maybe you should say something to her for Mother's Day. This was all him. He just on his own, which I thought was wonderful. So I clicked like on it, and I'm sure Asia by now has clicked like on it. It's a really sweet sentiment. But here's where I'm most interested. I know that his biological mother still kind of lurks around on his page. How could she not? She wants to keep up. I get that. But I wonder how that must have made her feel, especially on Mother's Day. Like in her mind, as Mother's Day, she was probably expected him to reach out and say Happy Mother's Day, or post some emotionless picture on her wall that says Happy Mother's Day, and au contraire. Like, if he did, I doubt it. But if he did, there was no way he would have posted what he said, like, the only mother I've ever known. Like, that's got to be like a knife in the back and a twist for somebody like Janelle, who doesn't realize how significantly she impacted that man's life. Like, Kari needed a mom. You know, I did my best, and I like to think I was a pretty good father. But there were just some things that he needed a mom for, and I was determined that he had it. And it's a shame that it took all this time for it to happen, but we're a family. Like, I love who we are as people, collectively. And I don't wish ill will on anybody, but I also have no sympathy for people who could have been family, who started off as family, and you didn't do any of the things that was necessary to be considered family, and then you try to squeeze your way in and go, oh yeah, I have got that on my refrigerator. Look, we're not interested. Look, the man has made himself very clear, and I know he didn't post it like, ha, this will teach Janelle a lesson, but in his mind, he posted it like, it's just my mom. Happy, I was going to say Happy Mother's Day. Happy birthday again. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. And it's got to eat her up knowing that on Mother's Day, he didn't think of her. And if he did think of her, not enough to say anything. And not only did he not, but he went out of his way to say something to somebody else. Like, maybe it's petty of me to feel that way. Maybe I'm reading too much in it. Maybe it meant nothing. But for me, it was a moment. Like, my son doesn't feel like he's struggling anymore. He doesn't feel like he doesn't have a place. He doesn't feel like he doesn't have both parents, because he does. And I'm glad he was able to find that, even if it did take all this time. So, Happy Mother's Day to my wife, who is very much a mother and will be again. It's nice. It's nice. I'm very excited to see what's next for our little fam.